for the listeners, you started it in 2017, and then the pandemic comes March. So I'm just gonna guess. Tell me how off I am. Late 19, early January, February of 2020. You guys are like, wow, okay, we're starting to like this might work. Like we're gonna be okay. Boom, the pandemic comes, and you're like, holy shit. Okay, now.
Yeah, that's exactly what we said. Holy shit was the word. Took the words right out of my mouth. Yeah.
And then you're like laying in bed at night going, oh man, okay, I guess I could go get my communications director job back. What am I going to do? Because this, right? You had to have had those moments, I'm sure.
We had so many moments like that. I think so we opened our second location in January of 2020. So before we knew about the
Oof,
pandemic.
oof, oof, oof.
2019 was a really like strange year for us. We were fundraising, so we raised like a little pre-seed round.
Okay.
And we went to Silicon Valley for 12 weeks and
Oh,
did
you
a
did.
whole like
Oh, but
accelerator
that
out
was a great
there.
experience, probably, huh?
Great learning experience. But on the first day I got on the plane with my co-founder Bethany in August of 2019, and WeWork's S1 had just come out that day. And as we're reading their S1, which if you don't know, they IPO'd or they attempted to IPO in 2019. And their S1, which is basically like their entire like balance sheet, and they talk about, how the growth of the business and whatever, it was a mess. It was like,
Yep.
it was insane. It basically said like, we've been burning money, like just throwing it out the window and lighting it on fire and hosting giant, parties and whatnot for millions and millions of dollars. And like, don't you want to invest in us? And I was like, oh my God. And so we're a co-working space. And so to have that type of like that weight on our shoulders as we're walking into these like basically Shark Tank type rooms, where folks are like laughing us out of the room, essentially being like, what about WeWork? Like you guys are just like a lady WeWork, like nobody could really put their heads around how we were going to be different than them or how we are different than them. And we just kept pushing, like we're profitable. Like we have a profitable model. Like we can make money. We know how to do this. We know how to grow. We know inclusion. We know how to build a space that is more than just desks. And so that was a really like tough moment. But we had momentum. I mean, we had momentum. We had some money, and we were building towards St. Paul opening. And our St. Paul, which is our second location, opened late January of 2020. We hosted a huge event on March 9th of 2020.
March 9th. Wow.
Which is also the first day that COVID hit Minnesota, or that there was like a recorded case in Minnesota.
Wow.
So I'm like, I get on Twitter, and there's like a Twitter at the time, now it's X, but I get on Twitter and I see there's the first reported case in Minnesota, and there's 300 people in my space. And I'm like, okay, well, like, do we just like not touch each other, or like, don't look at anyone, or like, do I wipe down all the surfaces?
Yeah, what do we do now? Yeah.
We had no idea. So we had that event on the 9th. On the 10th, we had 1,500 people in at a like huge market. I mean, it's just like a huge celebration. It was International Women's Day. We were celebrating Women's History Month. And then that like following Tuesday, we shut our spaces down and like didn't reopen for 5 months. So it was wild.
Wow. The fact that you guys made it through that, congratulations.